Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Sunday, happy solar system Sunday. We're going to be doing the next two planets in the build and model solar system, which means today we're going to be doing Neptune and Pluto. Although Pluto's a dwarf planet, isn't it? Well, we're going to do those two anyway. Check it out here. So when you order this through the website, I have put a link down here with a QR code. I think there's an offer on at the moment as well, but that's only at the time of this video. If it no longer works, sorry, you've missed out. But you can get this whole kit through that website there. And obviously, I've been breaking this down into stages. We are going to be doing Neptune and Pluto today. Now, this is everything that we've been working on at the moment. So I think we're just going to jump into it. So without further ado, let's do Neptune. Let's get cracking. This is the box here, which has got stages 9 to 11 in. We're only going to be doing these two stages at the moment, which is Neptune and Pluto. We do have the other dwarf planet here, Eris, that we're going to be putting on afterwards, and then finishing it up with the last video. So there is only going to be one more video after this. Once again, if I just take off all that wrapping, this is everything we've got here, and it's this section that I need first. So let me take everything out. Now here we go. Here's the blue planet Neptune. Now, Neptune, I believe, has 14 moons, but they've only provided one of its satellites here. I'm guessing this is the largest one. I'm guessing this is Triton. What I am going to do is I'm going to be putting what I believe to be Triton just on here. Threads through the hole here. And I'm going to keep this on the mat. And what I am going to be doing is taking off every planet that I've put on at the moment. So look, there's Saturn. There's Earth. That one's Uranus. Mars. Ceres or Ceres. I don't know how people pronounce that. Jupiter. People were asking about the spot on Jupiter. It is there. I just didn't show it you. Look, there it is. Can you see that? That's the spot of Jupiter. I've got Mercury here. And then I've got Venus. Let's keep that safely to one side. And you know how brilliant we are at assembling these models now. I'm just going to open all the grub screws up. Got 3 of those. And all the brass screws we've got in this bag. And remember, one of these brass screws is going to be longer than the rest of them, which is this one. I'm going to keep that to one side. So once again, we're a dab hand at this. We've got 2 of these gears here. I want to take the larger one, put through this bush here at the bottom, line up the holes, and I'm going to be securing that to the gear with the smaller of these brass screws. That takes 3 of them. Let's get all of these in. This is number 3. I'm then going to be taking this collar and making sure that this larger side here is on my left. That's going to go over the top like that, and it's held in with a grub screw, which I've got loaded up here, and I'm just going to put that in the side. Now what this is going to do is stop this ring spinning. We do need to enable this to spin at the end, because I need to line the planets up to where they currently are on the star charts. But for now, that can be locked tight into place, just like that. And as you can see, that can't move now. While I've got it that way round, I'm going to put the bottom on, matching it up into the holes which haven't got any screws in at the moment. So that's going to go in just like that. Oops, let me get this lined up, just like that there. And then again, the smaller of the brass screws to secure this down. And that's the larger gear made for Neptune. Take up the gear arm that looks like that. Put in the bigger bush into the top. And then I need the bigger gear going on top of that. Just line that up so it goes in. That's held in with one of the small screws at the top. Get that nice and tight. Turn it over and put the smaller bush in the bottom with the smaller gear. And that's held in with the long screw. This is the 8mm one, which we only have one of. And then once that's in, that's all together, it's time to start putting this gear on. Before I do that, I'm going to make my life a little bit easier, because this is like, I don't know how many times we've done this. I am going to put the grub screw just in here to start it off. And I'm also going to do the same with the other grub screw, which is going to hold the planet arm in onto this larger gear here. I do find starting them off while it's off the main orrery is the way to go. Just like that. Okay. Bringing over the orrery, I'm going to be taking this off its stand, which means I need to rotate this round so I can see the grub screw here, and I'm just going to take that off. I'm also going to remove the sun, and then I'm going to turn this upside down. Now I think it should hold itself now. All of these supports, I've got no problem with them bending because they're all supporting each other. Works a little bit like a bed of nails. If there was one nail, you're going to bend it, but with lots, it should be fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a washer down there, put this gear on, which is going to be going larger gear facing down, and make sure that that meshes with the gear underneath there, like that. Perfect. Another washer. Then I'm going to put this gear arm on with the larger gear facing down. And I want this to be in the exact same direction as all the other gears here. So they're making a line there. And then I'm going to make sure it's all in place and tighten this grub screw. So that's what they're all looking like at the moment. That's looking good, isn't it? I'm going to then put this back on the stand. I won't be putting the planets in yet. I'm going to do that at the end because there's still quite a lot to do. But once again, I need to put in this large Neptune arm. And to get down there, short of me coming off the chair, once again, I'm just going to make my table go up. So it's this end that's going to go in that's actually blank. The other end, as you can see, has got a hole in it for the planet. And I've put that in. I'm just going to tighten up the grub screw now. And there we go. Look how far that one comes out there. But that is Neptune in. Now, as I said, I'll put the planets in afterwards. We're going to now move on to Pluto. So this is what Pluto looks like. Now, I think Pluto has 5 moons. Again, we've got one moon here, which is, I guess, its largest moon, which is Charon. Is that right? Charon? I think it is. That's going to just thread onto the bottom of Pluto here. Just like that. And I'm going to put that on my map with all the other planets. Once again, we're just going to make this, because we're so good at this now, we know exactly what we're doing. By putting the larger disc onto this one here and screwing it in with the smaller of the brass screws. So that's 3 screws in this side. I do make sure I keep this the same way round. So this section where the grub screw goes on my left, so that's going to go in that way. I want to get a grub screw and put that into this side here. And then put over the smaller gear just over the top here. And again, 3 brass screws. That's completed. Put that to one side. Bring over the gear arm again, and on the smaller side, put the larger bush in. The larger gear going over the top. Now remember, when it comes to these rotating round, these planets are going to hardly move. They will be moving, but they're going to hardly move. Because it takes, well, a very long time. I can't even tell you what the orbits of some of these planets are. Put the smaller one in here. Smaller gear on top. When that's locked in, like that, I'm using the large screw that I've got here to go down the end like this. And just like I did last time, I'm going to make my life easier by taking a grub screw and just starting that off in this end here. Like that. And I'm going to take the last grub screw and do exactly the same thing for putting the planet arm in place. Although Pluto is a dwarf planet now, remember, it got demoted. So that's in, ready to go there. Okay, once again, bring over the orrery, take it off its stand. Now these larger arms you really want to be careful with now, because they're the ones, if they're going to get hit or bent, they're the ones that's going to happen to. So take this off, being very careful. Turn it upside down again. Should hold itself in place. Excellent. And then once again, I'm going to put a washer down there. The next gear will be going on the top, making sure it meshes in this section just here. Another washer. Then put the next gear arm in place with the larger gear facing down. And that's meshed in there. And I'm just going to tighten that up here. Put this back onto the stand. And then once again, I just can't film this. I've got no camera that can do that, but I'm going to take this end here, lift the table up, put this into place. And that is the last one in place. I mean, look, check how far out that one comes. Just rotate it around so you can see that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the planets on and the sun, and we'll look at that revolving round. And I've had to use the side camera so you can see this, but all the planets are now in place there. So if I start just turning this around, you can see how they are spinning. And believe me, Pluto and Neptune are moving. It's just that they're moving at an incredibly slow rate. But that's brilliant. That is all there is to do in that stage. And that's also all there is to do in this video. So one more video to go. We're going to be putting Eris on, which is the last dwarf planet after Pluto. And then we've got the base to put on with a motor. What a great build. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down here to the Build the Solar System website. You can get this as a full kit and build alongside with me. But I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.